Okay, hi. This is Willie. If you were the one or two people who were watching the stream earlier, I'd cancel that out because I started it a little early and had some weird technical difficulties. Let me see. And um, all right. So I wanted to try and give I wanted to try and like find some stories to have something to talk about, and the first one is from Variety. I'm going to I'm gonna paste the link in uh, in the chat, and this is some this was about this panel of talking about bec- talking about how success like their views on why Apple TV is going to bomb, and they're saying it was going to bomb because it had at launch it was like four different shows, and each of those shows was tailored to a different audience. Uh, Let me see. I if you know what I will. All right, I'll read this out loud. I'll read this aloud. With the highly anticipated launch of Apple TV Plus November 1st, variety television critics Daniel Donadio and Caroline Bramke discuss the service's present and what could be its future. So Daniel says, if Apple TV Plus's entry into the marketplace is an event, which, given the size of nearly everything Apple does, it probably should be, then it's hard to know who's it for. The four big shows on the service is launching with very in quality, but have, to my eye, no clear vision guiding them. Each really has a constituency that doesn't share with any of the others. There's a fairly undistinguishable teen comedy, Dickinson, a drama about gender roles in the workplace, The Morning Show, an outright terrible dystopian fantasy series, See, and a promising, if occasionally cliched, alternative history space race show for mankind. And he says here is, and if you're a Dickinson viewer, you're probably not going to check out See. And to be honest, I could just read you those sections, and that you pretty much get the exact tone of what they're and actually, I hate to say it, the exact points, because they basically repeat the same points over and over again. What I found kind of a bit BS, like I would call BS on, is how they think how they consider, like, oh well, since you're like four different types of shows for for different viewers, oh then that means that they don't know what they want. And what they were doing reminded me of game consoles, especially when I was a kid with the Super Nintendo. They would debut four different games. They would have like a Mario game, they have like something else that would be, like that fans of Mario would not necessarily play, an RPG, an RPG, whatever. And it would be so that, oh, okay, we can at least, there'll be at least some, we can at least get people from these different ones to go and buy the console and the game and play the game. And to me, this seemed, I don't think, I think these guys are full of shit. What is what is ironic is that no one really throughout that article, if you read it, no one really talks about the fans or any viewers. It's just anything involving an audience. And yeah, that was kind of BS. Okay, I guess I'll move on to the other one. So, studios. So here's another article from Variety. Uh, here's another article from Variety where they were talking about uh, studios coming together and shutting down this. I think that they said it was. I'm trying to remember. Well, I'll read what they said. A culmination of major studios has obtained a settlement that shuts down Openload, a file-sharing site that got more traffic than Hulu or HBO Go. Operating through the website Upload.co, the site collected advertising revenue and paid users who uploaded videos based on the number of downloads. The site operated through 1,000 servers in Romania, France, and Germany, according to the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment, and provided content to 36 of the top 50 pirate sites in the world. The Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment has been pursuing the case for several months and recently brought a legal action in Germany against the operators. The operators, who also ran a similar site called Streamango, agreed to shutter both sites and pay a significant damage award, according to Ace press release. Openload has been redirected to Ace's website, which briefly crashed due to the heavy volume of traffic. Openload claimed to follow procedures for taking down infringing content, but the site was identified last year in a report by the U.S. Trade Representative on Notorious Markets. ACE is a collation of the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment is a collation of 5 major studios plus Netflix, Amazon, and several other content providers. The organization, which formed in 2017, has brought a series of lawsuits to shut down pirate sites and the manufacturers of hardware that can facilitate piracy. In August, the organization announced it had shuttered Vader Streams, a pirate operation based in Canada. I wanted to talk about this because I'm all about people going and making new people going and making new content, getting their stuff out there, so on and so forth. And while I cannot personally condone movie piracy of movies and TV, etc., I think Hollywood goes overboard with it. And I think that the more when you look, there were articles in Variety that talked about how, because of piracy, shows like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones became the cultural juggernauts that they were. And it's basically, it kind of boils down to just people wanting money. They want to squeeze every dime. And to me, it's rather silly. If you look at it from a business standpoint, it's like it's almost like giving promotional. In the music industry, what they'll sometimes do is they'll set aside a number of albums for promotional use. They'll go like, hey, back in the day, I don't know if they do it too much, but I know back in the day, especially in the 2000s when I was researching this, when I was looking into this, they would do a set number of CDs that they made. They would set a certain aside for to give away. So like give away for like free prizes, for radio stations to give away as free prizes to whatever. And they would mark that as like, okay, this is promotional. All right, we're good. And it was just considered a thing of doing business. I think content, when it comes like digital content, digital content and digital piracy, that is something that Hollywood the entertainment industry, period, it should view piracy, because the people re-upload videos and stuff all the time. I guarantee if I get my butt going to like create the animated TV shows, etc., I am totally I'll totally have people pirate my videos and have okay, yeah, I'll put in my ugly mug and have in and they'll totally pirate my videos and repost it, and it will be the same thing, because if you decide to take them down, you go down the rabbit, you can end up being a mundane mat, and that's not good either. So I'm sorry. I was looking through the articles. So I think so. I will go. Let me talk about the Phantom Menace. For those who don't know, the Phantom Menace. There's two different stories of the Phantom. Where's the camera? Two different stories of the Phantom Menace. One is the media side, where we're a bunch of angry nerds who's mad at mainly Star Wars for putting in more people of color and women in it. The other definition, the other view, which if you look at the vast variety of people of different ethnicities, political backgrounds, genders, etc., is that they're mad at how the direction Star Wars was taken, and worst of all, they're mad at the scapegoating that Disney has done to in order to kind of shield themselves from criticism. From what I understand, while there are a few people who do harass and bully people, generally speaking, people in the Phantom Menace are pretty cool. And while a lot of the people who've become famous within the within that, who's managed to kind of carve a niche for themselves, critiquing Star Wars. And since a good chunk of them seem to be more right-leaning, there's like, oh, they get the Republican or conservative not name not they get the same, you know, stereotypes that you would get if you were if you consider if you know the same, like the same stereotypes and Jesus Christ. So yeah, they get the same labels that someone who is of the right would get. I kind of view myself a bit left of center with them. There's I think a lot of the problem I've seen with well the problem I've seen that Disney had is that they encouraged people who were agents of their company to basically talk trash to the fans, and that's absurdly stupid. And what's ironic is that when you hear their reasons, you see when you look past like the superficial things of like, you know, smart ass comments and sarcastic remarks, you see these people are is like you see these people who are actual fans. And what the I think actually what the best thing for genre entertainment should be is to uh, play to to the fandom menace. There was I forget off the top of my head, but there was this marketing study that found that people whose brain lit up in certain areas that they of companies, etc., that they were really fond of their products, it they triggered the same type of devotion that religious people do. That's where you get thing like, you know, and that's kind of the start of where you got modern brand marketing. And what's funny is that the fandom menace can be a they can be brand ambassadors to 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 what you make, as long as it's good, and as long as you're not going through the motions making it, as long as you're not being lazy and complacent, and as long as you treat them with respect. I believe if you market to them, you will be able to get a good following. Oh man, honestly, I was gonna try and make use Adobe Character Animator to make like to make my use my animated uh, avatar, like, you know, the one you see, like the one you see here, it's like that, you know, uh, to because no. Well, here, I'll do this for a while because I got tired of looking at my face. Uh, basically, I was trying to work on that, and I had some technical issues, and so my game plan was that, oh, you know what? If people come and see this, then I'll you know, I'll do I'll I'll work on it some more, and it looks like I think the only current viewer is the only current viewer is probably me, which is fine. That's fine, but and there's like a delay. And there's a delay in how it's streaming from because I'm going from OBS to the OBS to YouTube. That's what I was trying to say. And anyway, yeah, looks like I'm probably not going to be doing. Looks like I'm probably not going to be working on it. So I guess there's that. Oh man. Okay. So I guess what I don't know. Shoot. My kinds. Sorry, I'm sorry. I got distracted. I'm sorry. I got distracted and read. Oh man. So let's talk about my view with Fandom Menace is that they're pretty cool. I think what the Fandom Menace and when I say Fandom Menace, I'm kind of also lumping in actually Comicsgate. My opinions on Comicsgate's a little bit different. The thing with Fandom Menace is I think we should make our members of the Fandom Menace should make our own content. Is that if we make our own content, because it's easy for people to come back like, oh well, you don't know what it's like to go and create your own stories and stuff. So what advice, what do you know? And then just easily be dismissed. And, they have a valid point. I like to call this the your boy Zach thing. Because your boy Zach, or diversity in comics, or, I like to call him Dick Miner. Because his name's Richard Z. Meyer. Anyway. Sorry, just taking a bit of soda, drinking a bit of soda. He would critique comic books. And after a while, people were like, oh, well, if you're so good, why don't you make your own and, experience what it's really like? So therefore, he did a Indiegogo campaign to launch his own comic, and it was successful. And it was actually, from what I understand, is that generally people loved it. And so he made another campaign of another comic and did that again, and it became such a big. Is that the sales of it increased to a degree where where actually Comic-Con, which is a comic book sales analyzer, started counting the crowdfunding campaigns because it made comic book sales of American comic books much better. So that was that. And the hello, viewers out there. So that's what the Phantom Menace needs to do. They need to start making their own content. Like, not just like commentary content. I mean, like, what in the entertainment business, what they would say is scripted content. Or, you know, basically, like, make their own intellectual properties and put that out there. And if it's successful, well, then it gives them more clout. You know, it can give you more clout, or you can, or you know, even can elevate you into higher stratus. Look, there's several different examples you can kind of pull from. You can pull from the anime dubbing. You know, the voice actors, the anime voice actors, where they basically got a bunch of content and they were just dubbing it over and over, and they to where and they kind of became celebrities from that because their characters were you know, so, you know, beloved by people. But that's my opinion. Okay, now on character creation. I'm going to tell you a big secret. This is, while there are many ways to create characters, the simplest way is what I call the juxtaposition method. And that's where if you take two different things, you put them together, it will make its own, it will make it a third unique thing. They used, this was, there's like a lot of, if you study film, there's a lot of film theorists, like I think Bezin and Padovkin, I think. Or no, wait. Well, they did the same. They would cover the same thing with montage, but with where they would say like the montage, where you're like assembling video together. And there's this really cool video on YouTube of an interview that Alfred Hitchcock did, which he used in an experiment done by a film theorist, where you had a video of a person just staring out, like a neutral face, and then you show, and then when you show like the next cut to baby in a carriage, people thought, oh look, he's, you know, he's smiling at the baby. It's nurturing. And then when you look, and then when you would have them cut, and then but then if you had him cut to like a coffin, they'd be like, oh, he's sad. Yeah, and then if you had him cut to like a beautiful woman, I don't know, maybe like, you know, Anna, that Star Wars girl, 'cause she's pretty hot, or I don't know. That's just my not so humble opinion. Or you know, it's like the guy seemed like a creeper, but the image of the guy was still the same. It was still the same image. It was just because of the two things you put together, those two video clips that you put together, it created a third meaning. Now, what does this mean with character creation? If you look at characters like, say, Superman. Superman is very much like a hodgepodge of different ideas that were put together. Same with Batman, where it was like Zorro and Dracula, and Dracula, or the Bat, I think it was. I think it was like a film character from the Bat. And it was just, you juxtapose those two together and, throw in maybe pulps, and it be, pulp heroes like the Shadow, and it becomes its own third thing. Its own fourth, well, technically fourth thing. It's its own new thing. So if you just snip ideas together from different sources and you put it together, it just becomes a new character. Like, let's say you take Han Solo, James Bond, and Edward Cullen from Twilight. You put those three together, and you have a ladies man, a smooth ladies man, rogue character who sparkles in the sunlight or was manic depressive. It's like it just becomes a different character altogether. It's like, a gentleman thief, like a cowboy thief who's a ladies man like James Bond and super smooth, but he's manic depressive like like Edward Cullen, and glows in the sunlight and sparkles in the sunlight. That's a completely new character right there. You're welcome. So I'm gonna switch it back to my ugly mug. Just because it should be different. Damn it! It should be different. I should give you something new to show. So that's that. That is that, and that right there is the. Oh man. Okay, that right there is the thing, and with the since I think the only person who's on there really is me. I'm just gonna wait, hold on, 0. Oh no, there is one. Okay, well, you know what? The one or two people who've seen this live stream, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I thank you. I'm going to basically end things right here because it's pretty sad. Well, no, it's not. I'll be honest. I feel very insecure. I feel really insecure, and I just kind of, I'm like, I just kind of want to go like hide in shame. Oh shit. But you know what? But never mind that. You one or two or more people who've stuck around, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, whatever. Bye. Oh, well, bye. Wait. Bye.